Today I'm going to be starting the process of turning this AlphaSmart 3000 into a mechanical keyboard. So if you've never heard of the AlphaSmart 3000, it is a word processor from early 2000s. It was used mostly in schools, and in the last few years they've kind of become a thing for writers, and they actually have a few different models. So the most popular model is the AlphaSmart Neo 2. I opted to go with the 3000 mainly because when I first saw it and I saw that it was translucent plastic, my inner child lit up and was like, oh, that looks so cool. So that's the main reason that I chose this one. But the problem, which you'll see if you read reviews for these, most people will advise you to get the Neo 2 because it's just a better typing experience. The keyboard on this is pretty terrible. I don't know if mine is particularly terrible, like more so than most people, than most of them, like if there's like sticky stuff in here or something. But I can't even like type a sentence without making mistakes because the keys are just like really hard to push down, some of them, and they just kind of get stuck. So not a great typing experience, but I still wanted to be able to use this as a distraction-free writing device. And I also just like to make things. So over the last few years, I started hearing about mechanical keyboards. I actually don't have one that I type with for my regular computer. But I started researching these more, and I'm not sure, I don't remember if I like specifically searched like mechanical keyboard mod for one of these or just like custom AlphaSmart 3000. Somehow I found a tutorial on Reddit that had actually followed someone else's tutorial about making one of these into a mechanical keyboard. So even though I've never made a mechanical keyboard before, I just got super excited about the idea, and I just really like customizing things. So I decided to roll with it. So this, just to say this right off the bat, this is not a cheap project, and it's not, if you're just looking for a distraction-free writing tool and you don't care about having it like customized and like representing your personality or whatever, you should get a Neo 2. And also, I've seen, when I was looking into this, I've seen people just spray painting theirs a different color. So that's an option too. Like if you just want a distraction-free writing tool and you want the cheapest option, then I would suggest getting the Neo 2, spray painting it if you want it customized. And there's tons of tutorials about how to paint a mechanical keyboard, which would also apply to painting an AlphaSmart. So yeah, but I decided to go the hard route. So I ordered all the materials. It took a really long time for me just to even like choose the keycaps that I wanted, and I couldn't really find the recommended ones in like a color scheme that I liked. So, and like I care about color more than functionality, I guess. Yeah. So I just ordered one that like was reasonably priced, and I liked the color scheme. So the tutorial that I followed, which I will link in the description, they recommended, I believe, either DSA or XDA profile keycaps. Obviously, if you're like me and you don't know stuff about mechanical keyboards, I feel like anybody watching this is probably somebody who doesn't know about mechanical keyboards, because I don't know why an expert would watch me struggle through this. But anyway, I would recommend like not diving in and just buying the first thing that you see. If you actually take your time and learn about keycap profiles and the different widths they can be, and like make a plan to make sure that you're ordering everything you need, that will save you a lot of hassle, because I just received everything for mine and I can already tell that I've made some mistakes in the materials that I've ordered, and I'm gonna have to like find ways to compensate for that. So yeah, I would recommend taking your time before placing an order and just knowing that this might be a little bit of a longer term project that you have to find your way through. So yeah, so I hope you will enjoy joining me on this journey, and hopefully I don't break everything. I'm about to talk about my process for figuring out what keycaps I needed, but this is the diagram of the sizes that you'll need if you do the QWERTY layout, and I would recommend you just follow it and make sure you order these exact keycap sizes. I will link this image in the description below. Here I am arranging the keycaps on the PCB to see how they fit. I knew that this layout uses some non-standard keycap sizes and that the keycap set that I ordered was not going to be a perfect fit. I ordered a set of 104 keycaps, so I thought that I would have enough, but many of the keys were not going to be labeled correctly for their function. At first, I thought maybe I'd be able to wipe off the lettering with some acetone or something, but then I remembered that the keycaps that I ordered are designed to be backlit, so the letters are etched directly into the plastic. I happened to have a can of purple spray paint that closely matched the purple color in the set, so I decided I would spray paint the keys that weren't going to end up being labeled correctly so that I could change how they were labeled in the future. I marked all of the ones that needed to be spray painted with an X so that I could easily take those away and just spray paint them. One thing that I ran into during this process, which I already knew was going to be a potential problem when I ordered this keycap set, is that the heights of the keys vary. So that's why the tutorial recommends ordering the DSA or XDA profile keycaps. I just couldn't find any that were reasonably priced in a color scheme that I liked, so I just decided to deal with the varying heights. This stuff is toxic, so get into a well-ventilated area. Recommend wearing some safety glasses. Got a glove here for when I'm actually touching it, and I'm going to be turning on a fan and opening the garage door. So I recommend that you do that too, because your lungs are precious. Now it's time to solder. You'll start out by soldering the lock switch if you have one, but I didn't order that part, so I just soldered the jumper pads together. Then you'll solder the connectors onto the PCB. The pins are super tiny, so if you're like me and haven't soldered since high school, it's a fun treat to really put the pressure on and start with soldering something that you can barely see. After you solder them, you'll open the little clampies and insert the connectors, which are the little things that look like ribbons. After the connectors are in, you'll move on to soldering the switches, which will feel easier by comparison since the pins and pads are much larger. You're supposed to add stabilizers to some of the keys, but I am choosing to break the rules and skip that step altogether. This is what the switches look like once they're soldered into the PCB. it's time to disassemble the AlphaSmart. This part is fairly straightforward. You just unscrew the back, remove the batteries, and disconnect the display. Then you'll need to remove the existing keyboard by unscrewing it. After you have it unscrewed, you'll detach the two connector cables at the top. Now the old keyboard can be removed and the new one can be installed. The display can be reconnected at this point, and you can put batteries in to test it. There are other ways to test it that are more efficient, but I don't know what they are, so I just put it all together to see if it works. I ended up assembling and disassembling several times, trying to troubleshoot some issues before taking a break to just see how the keycaps work. Back together because I wanted to see if I had the right keycap sizes, and I don't quite. I'm pretty close, but not quite there, so I'm gonna have to paint a couple more. So this one will fit here, and then I can put this one here, but I'm gonna have to spray paint them. And overall it's just not quite functioning properly, so when I turn it on, this fun thing happens where it just goes n. If I push another key, it stops, and I can delete it. But then when I actually go to type, there's a bunch of other weird things happening. And as I was putting the keycaps on, I took one off, and I think it kind of messed with the joint, the soldering joint. So I'm gonna have to fix that, but there were already some issues going on. So T is now not working. Previously it was just capital T. Yeah, that's strange. The left shift is a capital T, which is now working inconsistently. Previously it was working consistently as a capital T. A bunch of letters don't work. There's no F, no G, no B, no N, no R. I don't understand circuit boards, so I don't know how to fix this. I've gone through and resoldered the joints of these specific letters. I've just looked at the whole thing to see if there were any other joints that looked kind of off, and redid them, and that didn't help. So now, if I try to type a sentence, so I just wrote, I'm trying to type a sentence here, and this is what I got. So it's a lot of fun. I wish I knew more so that I could easily troubleshoot this, but I don't. I'm pleased that it's just working in general. I was worried that it wouldn't even turn on, but there's still some issues here. Hello again. It's been a few weeks since I have worked on this project. I tried posting in several forums, taking it apart and messing with stuff a bunch of times, and I haven't been able to fix it. So I'm just gonna end the video here. It's kind of an unsatisfactory ending, but I do have a few extra PCBs, so I was thinking if anybody out there has a solution for how to troubleshoot this, I'm hoping that it's not just start over because I don't want to buy materials again, but I have several extra PCBs and I would be happy to send one to anybody who can help me figure out how to fix this. Anyway, I hope that maybe this video was helpful. I know that if there's anybody out there watching this who actually knows what you're doing, it was probably frustrating watching me stumble through it, but it is what it is. And I'm glad that I tried this. It was fun. I really want it to work. I don't know if I'm completely given up on it, but I've given up on it for the moment to focus on other projects. But yeah, let me know if you try this. Send me pictures of what you did. Okay, bye.